Okay, we've got it.
Oh, okay, good.
And here's a message for you to give you confidence. So proud of you, Nargis. Keep it going. From Rohan Naji. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so how are you handling all this volatility, the push-pull between Corona and central banks? What
Um,
are you seeing here? And
it's surprising, and every time it makes me a bigger believer that that news is mostly an after effect. I mean, coronavirus is a sad thing. Definitely, it will affect people, in a bad way. But I'm just talking in terms of some news perspective. I mean, we had earlier China
yeah,
deal issue,
trade. Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
then we had the Iran thing, and now this is coming. And I mean, coincidentally, or there's a reason behind it, they all come at a certain point where markets are saying something. So
yes.
me personally was looking from that perspective.
You want to show us your S&P chart? We're looking at your Twitter feed.
Yeah, yes. So so this was something I had put out
Oh, okay.
much earlier. Start in 2018. This whole thread was from 2018. I think first time we had talked about this also, that uh, in terms of my wave analysis, not the Elliott wave, but the regular, the movement to 55, which completes, the price movement. I had already seen 4, and I was expecting a price move to the upside. Earlier, the targets were coming into 3,000, 3,100s, but we blew that off by a big margin.
Yeah,
And
your top target, I would need magnifiers, but I'm guessing it's 3344 at 1.618. Am I seeing it
yes,
correctly?
yes. So yes. So if we see, yeah. So I had, here the 425 extension is coming. I mean, XPX extension is coming in is much better. That and ES also a similar number. So, and I had certain notes.
Were you
I was
trading in 2000 during the dot-com bubble?
no.
Okay.
2000. I wasn't born then, actually.
You were where?
I wasn't born then at that time in terms of the trading community.
Okay. You
I
were
mean,
in what? Bond? What's bond?
no, I wasn't born, as in,
Born. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this must look kind of strange to you, seeing parabolic moves like in many NASDAQ stocks. I mean, I've seen it before.
yes,
And
definitely.
it happens in other instruments. I mean, Bitcoin was like that, right?
Yeah, Bitcoin, yes, Bitcoin was like that at 20,000.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has had blown
So,
off all extensions, and RSI was at 97, 98. And I
yeah.
was like, let me see if it can touch 100 or at least 99, but then it just boomed down.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
what
mean,
do you
Tesla.
do with a market in a parabolic advance? You just jump on it?
Mostly, yes, I do. Sometimes you go wrong shorting those very, very high momentum in terms of timing, not in terms of the move itself. Like, sometimes you trade short term. So that can
Yeah.
get you, and it has got me as well sometimes. But when I was looking at the GAN levels also, and I was counting cycles, to me, this 36 to 3365 was an important area, because SPX or ES would have completed some 10 cycles from the low of 2346, December 18th low. So this S&P was doing 5, 10, 15 cycles. So that's why I was personally looking for a reaction at this point, and we definitely got it. Now the question is, will this still pose as a resistance, and we get a bigger correction to 55 EMA on the daily or below? I mean, we almost hit 55 EMA, barring some 5-6 points. So I would consider that as complete. But would it go below now? 55 EMA on the daily, or at least go below 10 SMA on weekly. So that's what I'm looking for. Or do we go past these 10 cycles and go on to the 15th cycle, which will very well take us into more than 3500s?
Okay. So can you explain to us what you mean by a 10 cycle and a 15 cycle?
Oh, so when I'm studying GAN, what he proposes is that stocks or equities or indices move in cycles, right? So they will do cycles in 3, 6, 12, 18, 24, those kinds, and or 5, 10, 15 cycles, so price from if it is starting from zero, say, it will go to 5 cycles, which will be, say, $100. So one would be like 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, like that.
Okay, so you multiply it.
Yeah,
It's like a multiplier, the cycle.
It's multiplier, maybe some it's basically based on that GAN wheel.
Okay,
So
and that was again talking about price, not talking about time.
No.
So if if you study GAN, is there anything you can extrapolate as far as how much time this particular move, not exactly projecting or forecasting price, just time? Is it early? Is it late? Mid-cycle? What do you think?
Truly speaking, I'm still, venturing into time, and what I have noticed is, and this has, this has also given me some food for thought, that maybe there is much more to time than what I'm seeing. Is that whenever we see a cycle for turn for a pullback, the market rushes up like crazy. So it's like they're firing up something, a higher cycle or God knows what. So so far, the timing for a pullback is not working so great, or the depth of the pullback is not working so great with respect. We may get a pullback, but it would be so minuscule that it won't look like a pullback.
Okay.
So I'm still struggling with the time. Maybe this particular time, 2019-20, is a little bit, I don't know, different, or maybe you guys have already seen this kind of movements. So yeah, so it still surprises me. Why would the timing, when the timing for a pullback comes, the market rushes up another 50, 60, 100 points, just like that?
Okay, because I would say that if you mark the beginning of this bull market after the financial crisis, the lows were March 09. So we're looking at, close to 11 years coming up in a month or two.
Yes.
And any history that you know of? I think it's one of the longest runs without a, bear market. Bear market being 30%, although we almost had that last December.
Yeah, 2000.
So anything in GAN that talks about longevity of bull markets or bear markets in terms of time? Or anything you've studied that, 11 years, is that extraordinary for a bull market? You don't know. I don't either.
I wouldn't say anything which I'm not ready to, or rather, I may not have much more information.
All right. Well, you're just going to keep it simple. So say you're long right now, Nargis, okay, and we're pressing right here 33.27. Where you're wrong from here? What would get you out of the way? Your 50-day moving average?
Yes, definitely. The 50-day moving average, if I was, first I would, my exit would be close below 10 SMA. Definitely.
It'd be where?
10 SMA on the daily.
Okay. Where's that come in?
That is currently now 32.78.80 here.
32.80.
32.80.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah. That would say, okay, the cycle is turning bearish, or if it is,
just set up another break to buy.
Yeah. And 336 is still posing an issue. Until 3365, it is still posing an issue. just a caution for me because I'm following those levels because that's a GAN level 3365, and I would be cautious around 3366 to 3365 for it to turn back. And I was also looking at other indices, NASDAQ, YM, RTY. RTY is, Russell is the one which is lagging the most. YM and NQ are also at points where they have, completed major run, I would say. And NASDAQ is, I don't know, for some reason, I have a feeling that it will go to 10,000. The way it is running, and 10,000 is also 25 cycles because it is now more than 20 cycles. So I haven't seen at least NASDAQ stop at any in-between cycles.
Yeah, it's
It
definitely
generally,
been
yeah,
leading the whole pack recently.
yeah,
I mean, at yesterday's close, I was pointing out it ended up at least, well, maybe longer term it means something, but I can't remember the last time the NASDAQ 100 made new all-time highs and S&Ps were 30 handles under the previous high, which it took care of today.
yeah.
But have you in your experience since you've been trading seen that much of a lag in the S&P 500 compared to NASDAQ?
Um, I, I have always seen NASDAQ leading much more. I am not sure if this
Okay.
is because of the bigger tech companies are part of that, the Amazons, Googles, Apple. Apple had a fantastic run. So maybe that has
Yeah.
pushed more in NASDAQ versus the S&P, the weight, because of the weightage of all these running crazy.
Okay, well, give me the time, the day, and the price for the top in Tesla.
Tesla,
Give me the day, the time, and
I think
the
it,
price.
it
I'm not
already
asking for much.
Tesla, I think it has already happened yesterday, 961.
Yesterday, okay. See, you're on tape now. So if it breaks, wow, you could really
Sorry,
promote
it
this
was
video.
the high was 961, not 861. It was 961, correct?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, 18 cycles. Looking at the crazy run, 961 should top it at least in the short term. But now or later on, if it is trading above 961 or 1025, then we have a much higher to go Tesla. We are looking into 1500s because then after that it will go to 24 cycles. But right for now, 961 I think should be a good measure to at least relax it and return to some mean. I
Okay.
wouldn't be long Tesla right now, personally. Okay, this is my opinion. Don't go,
Huh?
people going and closing the profits.
Yeah, why? You could buy it if you have a parachute.
Oh yeah, but the good thing is last year when I was looking at Tesla, I had uh, uh, said that this would go to 500.
Yeah.
So
Were you buying it there?
yeah, I did trade it. I did trade it, but I didn't held it for long term.
Yeah, that's always the
But
hard part.
yeah, so because it's too volatile to sleep properly at night.
Okay.
So I trade in, book some profits, at my levels, and
Right.
I'm happy with that, right?
You
So
know what? That's a great attitude because you don't know how many people, myself included, that when you make tough money on a trade
yeah,
and then all of a sudden it turns into a windfall,
yeah,
that you tend to want to visit would have, could have, should have land. So, I mean, great. It's very important because you know what? That's going to give you longevity
right.
because you just consider it, it's done, it's history next. Some people have that natural, inherent personality for that. Others, like myself, we have to change our paradigm. And next is a great word. You use it. It sounds like you don't even have to say it. You just do it.
No, Dale. I mean, believe me, talking is so easy, but every day I still struggle with,
Yeah,
disciplining myself.
yeah,
Because when you are in the thick of things, that greed, that human nature takes over, and I say, just let me look at this, let it go, let's see. And some of the times I turn my good profits into a loss, and then I'm wondering what the hell happened.
yeah. It really is a tough way to make an easy buck, isn't it? Well,
I
what would you say, Nargis, is your when you're like that and you're in the midst of a battle and emotions, so we talk like we're detached and everything. What's your best tool for keeping things in perspective when you're in the heat of battle?
Yeah.
For some people, it's their spirituality. For some people, they have a rules-based system. What helps you?
So so I go and reevaluate my emotional status. Okay, what did I do? Then I give a pep talk. No, first whole night I'll just be so bad at myself, criticizing myself,
Yeah,
because I like, how the hell can I make that mistake?
yeah,
Knowing that I was sitting there. I mean, like, what took over me? Like, the
yeah.
devil took over me. Kind of all the stuff I talked, batter myself to that level, and then I say, okay, you know what? Enough. I need to get better at it. I'll do this. I'll write it and put a big note in capital letters in on my screen. Nargis, do not do this. You know
Okay. All right.
those.
So writing things down
Yeah.
is helps you because it's kind of like NLP, neuro linguistic programming. I used to update my charts by hand and had a better feel for technical action than just having it pop up on a computer. But okay, so writing things down, and I just wanted to. I really appreciate you being candid about it. That we're all our own worst critics, and just like you have to be patient with the market, and this is self-talk too. We have
Yeah.
to be patient with ourselves and be gentler with ourselves and try and reduce the time frame of self-criticism, self-flagellation, whatever you want to call it. It's a waste of your energy, and it's important for your health if you want longevity in this business to be able to just move on. So
Yeah.
that was better than any chart you could show, because I think we all have these emotional struggles every day, and very few people talk about it because they want to, they have a persona to protect.
No,
So
I mean, this field it'll take everything from you. Some days you'll feel like you've aged 50 years, right there. You know,
yeah,
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 and I'll sometimes look in the mirror and say, "Oh my God, I'm getting eye bags and all that stuff." and I'm and I'm not even at an age to have that this thing.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I mean, every job has their own stresses, right? Plus
yeah,
days, minus days, happy days.
yes.
So
And
yeah,
well, you know what? You have proved to me again. Your technical work is very good. Rely on it, Nargis, and rely. You are a warrior because if it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. And I know what people have to go through to um, first learn how to survive and then have bursts of thriving. And I really appreciate you being candid and open about not only great calls, but inner struggles in the trading business. You
thank
are
you.
a champion.
Thank you. I just wanted to point one more thing. What I was
Yeah,
seeing in
go
Apple
ahead.
was,
Okay.
just my going by my theory of 55 EMA. This red line is the 55 EMA on the monthly chart of Apple.
Yeah,
And what I see is it has completed the circle is once, twice, thrice, four times. And this is, the start of the, Apple pricing, charting, whatever
yeah,
data available on a chart. So this is the only place where we can actually see some movement, very, very early days. So and this is a monthly chart, and since then it has never ever traded below 55 EMA. And this surge, this big surge, is the fifth round it's happening. So for me, 325 area was where it completed from the low of this 142
Yeah.
in December 2018.
Yeah.
This is completing a major number at 325. So 325, 28, 334. Let's say we'll just even go to 350 because an extension comes there.
Okay.
If at all that is a resistance area, and if something happens to the markets and everything comes at a confluence and that is it, then in my opinion this should trade below 55 EMA sometime
Okay.
in future. So again, that's my opinion.
Okay. So Apple either has completed or one more burst towards
Yeah, somewhere around
350
there.
and
Yeah.
and completing something up here.
Something up here. Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
And appreciate you. Yeah. Well, I actually like that trade. So I appreciate you showing Apple and being here today, Nargis, and
Thank you.
continued success in 2020. I hope pips rain down on you and your family.
Thank you so much, Dale, and happy Valentine's Day in advance to
Oh, thank you.
you and to all of your team and to everyone. It's the best date I had.
Uh, you're the cheapest date I've ever had.
Oh, no, please. Your blessings, your good word, this
All
thing is
right.
so much more.
All
So
right,
thank
everyone.
you
So
very
you
much.
could follow Nargis at Nargis007. As you can tell, she works hard at her craft. There you go. There's her Twitter feed. And she doesn't really have an axe to grind. She's just out there sharing her work, trying to be part of the trading community and serving others. So, Nargis, thanks again for being with us today.
Thank you. Have a nice day, Dale.
Okay. Thank you, my trading warrior sister. And that's a wrap for us today, everyone. Good hunting the rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and be kind to yourself. I'm talking to me. You're very welcome.